Hi everybody, so this video is a quick overview of my Ableton set and how it functions and the power of using the Harmonic BPM system to create live and beautifully mixed DJ setups. So from left to right we have the BPM and scale selectors. You'll notice that I have very specific BPMs selected, and these are the BPMs that work with the Harmonic system. All of my tracks, samples, one-shots are all in repitch mode, so as I change the BPM, the pitch of the samples and the tracks also changes. We're not using any sort of complex warping modes. We are just keeping them all in repitch, so as you speed them up or slow them down, they go up and down in pitch. So that is the first couple of channels. Then I have things called arrangement tracks, where I've taken my finished tracks and stripped out all of the foundational elements, the kicks, the basses, the leads, and I've just left in the atmospheres, the rises and the crashes, so that I can kind of have a structure of stuff that would be quite difficult to do live, ready to go, so I can create remixes of tracks or perform live versions of my tracks. The next four channels are DJ decks. They've got stereo mastered tunes in them, all in the Harmonic BPM system, and they go up in pitch and BPM as you go progressively down the set until you kind of reach the end where these are my meditations. The next 8 channels are my stems, one-shots and sequences. So I've got my kicks, bass, percussion and leads, which I've either stripped out of finished tunes or I've taken them from other pieces of music that maybe I didn't finish, or I just had an idea in a sketch that I can now put into this set and use those pieces as harmonically aligned parts. So we've got 2 copies of that, because I can kind of make tracks out of both of these sets of decks with the kicks, basses, leads and percussions, and they are all also working in the Harmonic BPM system. Then here we have a group clip launcher. This is kind of an experiment at the moment, but this is triggering groups of the clips within the stems and one-shots so that I can quickly just press one button and trigger a bunch of the clips at the same time and then jam with them with the set. And then the next channels are my live synths. So we've got a 303, bass line, a few leads, a pad, a hand drum, and my vocal processing tools. So now I've kind of given you an overview of the structure of the set, let's have a little look at playing with this set. So here I have the set ready to go, and you can see that we're at 101.25 BPM, which equates to being in A. All of my tracks here that are orange are my tracks that are in that BPM, and I've written them all in the Harmonic system, obviously. So let's first off have a look at some of these one-shots and samples. So I'm just going to trigger this big dig and maybe this sitar. And now let's add some beats. Let's have a 4/4 kick and maybe add a bass line in there too. And what you'll notice is that when I change the BPM, the pitch of these also changes, so like this. So let's just reset that back to 101.25 and have those parts playing again. And now I'm going to trigger one of my finished tunes. I'm going to go for Radiant Entity, which came out a few weeks back. A Radiant Entity has got a fairly slow pad intro, so we're just going to let that build in, and you can hear how they're all working together. And I can also filter my high and low pass filters on all of these decks with these little mapped controls here. You can hear the kick and bass are filtered back nicely. I'm just going to trigger Radiant Entity on the beat now. And let's get that kick and bass out of the way, just kill them off for a moment. But notice how the didgeridoo is playing perfectly at the right pitch, even though the original didgeridoo was written in G and not A. And let's add some more percussion maybe, and some more sounds. Now I'm going to change the BPM up to 120 to the heart, C. And you'll notice over the next 16 bars, the BPM is rising, and all of the sounds are moving together in pitch. Might be a touch extreme going from that to the other, so the original track might sound a little bit chipmunky, but this is a great demonstration. So I can maybe filter this guy out. And maybe prepare another track that's written in C, but notice how it's all harmonically aligned. I don't have to think about mixing in key at all. And let's add Pounding Heart, which is from my Contemplation album. And then we'll get this nice big pad coming in from deck number 4. It's a little bit quiet at the moment, but here it comes. I'll turn these down as well to compensate so you can hear it coming in. But you hear the pads from Pounding Heart coming in, which are all in C. So we've gone from A to C. I haven't changed the transpose of any of the sounds. It's just the tempo that has adjusted the key. And now they're all working together still. So bring these sounds in. Maybe an acid sound. And they're all working seamlessly, beautifully. Let's add some other interesting percussion. Those hats coming in. Maybe a nice big snare, actually. Let's modify that snare a little bit. Send some of these guys into a nice big reverb for the drop. And you can see there that all of those sounds have been aligned harmonically, so they work seamlessly together. I wrote some of them in different keys, and they will all work together. So this is really freeing for a number of reasons. Like, you might feel inspired to make a specific sound in a specific moment, but it doesn't really fit into the tracks that you're working on at that time. But it means that you can just bounce that out as audio, and as long as you've made sure it's like the right length, when you import it as a repitched mode sample, it's going to work with all your other sounds, dependent on the scale, obviously. But yeah, it's a really beautiful system, and this is part of what I'm going to be teaching in my Frequency Alchemy course, which, by the way, is getting sold out really quickly. So if you'd like to know more about the depths of this information, you don't need to be an Ableton user. In fact, I only use Ableton for performance. I write my tunes in Studio One, having moved from Logic a few years ago. And yeah, I hope that's super interesting to you, and looking forward to hearing what you think about it. Much love. Thanks, guys.